The biggest threats to businesses at the moment, I would say, is targeted attacks, so supply chain attacks, where the company is dealing with such a larger company or a organisation which is of interest to a cyber attacker. They will then look at the supply chain and then look at who supplies them and how they can then get into the bigger person down the line, or even just disrupt the supply chain so that that bigger company can't function or is affected. Sadly, we're seeing it on a daily basis across the world, and they are becoming more and more reported, even across the UK, whereas typically we've only ever seen it reported in the Americas. A cyber attack can be a business-ending event, and reputation takes years to build but seconds to destroy, so you could be in a scenario where your business could end overnight. So when they're targeting a business, they will look at the weakest link, and the weakest link is often people. So that's why end user education is important. But what they will look at is potentially an accounts team. They'll look at an accounts assistant, and they will approach them via email, requesting them to do something such as pay an invoice to a different supplier. And that email may even come from, or pretend to come from, the managing director of that very business. And it will be, when it's targeted, they may necessarily know via LinkedIn, Facebook, that they're away somewhere, and they'll use that personal information in the email to say, I'm in Monaco at the moment doing this, I can't send this email, can you pay so and so, here's the bank details. So that's where we've seen targeted attacks like that. Yes, there are ways to detect it, but they don't necessarily hack into people's emails. They can pretend to be that person, but there is ways around. There's ways around detecting that and alerting users, and we typically have methods and processes in place that would flag that up to a user. But yes, they don't have to hack into their mailbox to be able to achieve this. When it comes to email threats, that's where you'd have email protection. And like with everything, you can't guarantee that everything's going to get caught. However, you can have systems in place that may flag something that looks out of the ordinary, which maybe put a banner in front of the user in their email. But ultimately, everything comes down to that person who's receiving that message or file to know something's out of the ordinary. Let's discuss it and flag it with somebody appropriately. So we've had a couple of scenarios in the past where somebody's mailbox was compromised, not one of our clients, but the people they were sending the message to. They'd compromised their mailbox, got in, and they were adjusting the invoices that they received and changing the bank details. So that person at the other end was paying money to somebody else. So our client in example didn't get the payment, somebody else got it, but it wasn't our client that got compromised, it was actually the person they were sending the invoice to. Education and having policies in place that if something changed, bank details changed on a supplier on an email asking you to do something out of the ordinary, flag it, pick up the phone, have a conversation with your contact at the other end, and to say, I've received this email or request to do something different. Is this you? Is this the request? And verify it in another method. Net Primates can be contacted in a number of ways. You can drop us an email via info@netprimates.com or drop us an email on 02381 800 800.